Um, I'm trying to hurry and get my stuff done this morning. Stella's having just the worst time. I mean, oh my gosh, there's no sleeping and it's just exhausting. But, I've been really paying attention about some stuff with time because I kept, feeling like time was going faster. Something seemed to be speeding up. And now I think it is. I think that time is speeding up. And I kind of got this image that, I mean, it's going to sound really crazy to anybody who doesn't already know that I talk about crazy shit, is then you not even want to listen to this, because I really don't want to hear like, oh, this isn't true or whatever. Which, by the way, I see all the time where there'll be comments, but the comments are hidden from me. They don't send me emails that I get comments. They don't, this is a shadow ban channel. They kind of, so I think that they interfere with a lot of normal stuff. Once the censorship is lifted, I think there'll be a big change and that kind of stuff. So we'll see. But anyways, so my eyes are killing me. I'm really squinting. The sleeping is just so sucky, especially while Stella is so sick. She just keeps crying and crying. Nothing is working, and now I'm waiting for the vet to call. Oh my gosh, it's high-pitched frequency. Oh, sometimes it's like stabbing. It's so weird because I just was doing some TikToks, and to me, I keep thinking, we're thinking about this battle in such a three-dimensional kind of way, people waiting for the camps and waiting for this and stuff. But everything is a lie on this planet, We've been in this habitat and we've been told what this environment is. We've been told how to see it, how to see things, how to interact, how to live our lives. Everything has been completely controlled. So this whole existence is outside of us. Like we don't even understand what this whole existence is because it's all been, formulated by them in order to control us because they didn't want us to know our own power. Maybe because before we were ready. Maybe we had to, as a species, as, beings, we had to evolve to that place, because that's what I talk about with the consciousness and stuff. The consciousness, this is an evolution right now, what's going on for consciousness. So consciousness can evolve itself. So, I probably had to do with why it had to be so quarantined because, and why that had to be so structured like that so that we didn't understand who and what we were until we were ready to understand, until we were ready to accept ourselves and to know our own powers and be ready for that. Because you wouldn't want some of these people who seem like they are just lost, you wouldn't want them to have powers. Like, that's what it shows in the superhero movies. Maybe that's why they were always showing us the superhero movies, because we wouldn't want somebody who has evil intent to have superpowers. And consciousness has superpowers. So, this is the awakening for consciousness. But everything is just getting so crazy with time and stuff. And, when you go outside of the box, of course, and you start talking about consciousness and, what is happening here? Like, are we creating time to go faster? And I started seeing it kind of like a tornado, especially how nature works, because it has a way of, expanding and going out further and further. Like, it has patterns all through nature, how things grow and everything. It has a pattern. So us as consciousness creating that tornado effect of energy that is creating the change, and that is, pushing out it's purging out all of this stuff. We don't want it anymore, and we are speeding up, and more of us are coming together, and the tornado's getting bigger and bigger, and it's swirling faster and faster and faster, and we're just spitting this stuff out like crazy. We don't want, and where we're gonna land, we know, is on the new earth, in the age of Aquarius. But we gotta get rid of all this stuff. We gotta empower ourselves and know our own power. But it is You know, when you start going at stuff as energy and consciousness. And another thing that is really trippy is too, I know I've talked about this before, probably early on, when I started noticing weird stuff with the skies and stuff. And so I was looking at a lot of pictures, and I was, people were showing pictures of stuff in the sky. And I had seen these really cool pictures where you could see like the grid, like the grid around us. And I swear to God, this is so much the Truman Show. I swear to God, we've been living the Truman Show the whole time. And we just didn't know that we were on, whose screen we were on. But so this whole grid all around us, and you could see it, and it looked like geometric patterns. It was fucking cool as shit looking. And it would explain the whole thing with the flat earth and how, we're here. And and then today I even heard where this was something about Walt Disney and the Nazi guy, the scientist that did NASA, and that he made reference to the firmament and the flat earth and stuff and the dome. And it's in the Encyclopedia Britannica, the older one. I don't even think the Encyclopedia Britannica, once they could take over Google search and Wikipedia, all that shit. No wonder it was called WikiLeaks. Wikipedia is just, I remember when it even started, people were like, they lie. But we gave over all of our, research to these people who controlled our information. It's how they control history. It's how they control everything. It's how they control us. So, but all these leaked documents from the CIA and about all the studies on consciousness and their explanations and stuff. I mean, stuff gets pretty trippy. And you can go look that stuff up. It's all been released. FBI paranormal investigations have been released, and that's all sorts of crazy shit. And CIA and the studies of consciousness and human beings and all that stuff. All that stuff is in there. Probably if you are one of those people who really likes to do all that kind of research, it goes in through all of the testing drugs on people. And that's what the whole thing was at Spawn Ranch. And then they, had to hurry and sweep it under the rug and blame it on somebody, the patsy, so that they couldn't be blamed for all the murder that went on. So, anyways, back to the whole thing with the tornado thing. If we are like creating energetically, because I feel time is speeding up, like it is definitely. And one thing that's kind of scary is that there's starting to be so much dying, so many, and people are starting to be like, what's going on? And they're not reporting it, but now I'm starting to hear it from people. They're starting to have a lot of people dying around them, and they've all done that. And so, it's very stressful times, and especially it's stressful to those of us who have, most of their family is. So, but also to know as a conscious being that nobody dies. It's a transition. It's whatever we are going through to experience, whatever's going on. It is what we are here to experience. Then the new earth is going to be different, but there's also going to be where there's no death and the dead can come back. So, but as consciousness, it's somehow leaving this, but we're already in that motion. There's already signs that the planet is, there's something going on. There's other planets showing up and stuff. I don't know. I wish that we could know the truth. It's so crazy is how they always just say, oh, well, they have to keep the truth hidden from us because we couldn't handle it. What are you talking about? Like 10% of the people, 15% of the people? So let's hide it from everybody else. Because most of us want to know what the fuck is going on. What the fuck is going on this planet? What the fuck does it all mean? It's bullshit. They got to hide it from us. No, they hide it from us to protect them, to control us, to feast off of us, to make money off of us. I think it was Eisenhower or LBJ or something. Those guys made the deals with reptilians. They could take so many of us for their food if they got technology. I mean, that's how little these people think of us. We're expendable. And what's crazy is that they would make it where we're expendable, even though their life is temporary, unless they've got the magic potion, which, we know that they're definitely trying it because they have all gone vampire on us. So, who knows? Maybe they just do transfer to another body and just move their consciousness around until that body becomes relic, and then they move it into another one, and they really don't ever die. And they do profit forever and ever, ever off the shit they do to us, because it would make no sense. Why would you do something when you're only going to have the benefit for a few years, when you're going to have the karmic debt that is going to be attached to you like forever? I mean, some of this stuff, I don't even know how. I mean, when you think about Gator Boy and how many lives he's got so much bad karma. I mean, way beyond anything that Hitler did. I mean, he's like Hitler on steroids. Same with Fauci. Like there's these people have got some karmic debt that is beyond imagination. Like I don't even know. Like the crimes that they have committed and the people who they've killed and maimed, and it's huge. So yeah, it would make no sense how they would just do it just for like, oh yeah, I'll benefit from that for however 50, 60 years. Doesn't it probably is that they are already, they live for a long time in their relic bodies, and then they just transfer to their consciousness into another one, and they don't leave the planet. And that's why they're just that, that's how they've been able to get such control over everybody else. I mean, when 1% controls the rest of us, like, and we so outnumber them, and they set our rules, they tell us how to live. Like, yeah, we needed to wake up. We were all just like on autopilot. People just lived on autopilot, just didn't question things, just did what you're told. Went around like a good little, not even a dog, because my dog, doesn't do what I say all the time. I don't know. I guess that's why they say sheep. Maybe sheep do what they're told more. I thought sheep wandered around because they were too stupid. I don't know. But yeah, I really want to know, what all is happening. Like when, because something's going on, planetary and time and space, whatever, and all of this, when giant bones are being found all over the place, that's all being exposed. And I saw another one this morning that was really interesting too on TikTok, and it was somebody on Google Maps or whatever, maybe NASA one. It's one of those you can go and look down on the globe, and you can go down further, and this other lady that I've seen on TikTok, she goes and she looks for stuff that I've seen some creepy stuff on her. She's the one who had the blood on the roof and stuff. It was disturbing. But this one was, they were going down and looking at the Antarctic, and remember how they said that it was going to start exposing the ice melting, that there's a giant mothership under there, there's pyramids and stuff, and that the ice melting was going to start exposing the truth, and we're going to be able to hide from it. Well, if everything is speeding up and we are creating this to expose everything, it would make sense that the planet would start doing it. That whole thing would be in motion, and the ice would be melting to expose the truth, because the darkness has to be revealed. And so all of that stuff is being exposed. But the thing is, when she went down and looked, she went further in this part where it looked all kind of, well, there was a part that looked melty, but no, I think she went down to a part that was ice, but there was a part where it wasn't just ice, and it was like kind of going down in crevices. Maybe it's like melting like in crevices, kind of, or I don't know. But wherever she went down, you could see a face, and it looked like like the Syrian, I think they're the Syrians, the elongated heads, the ones that they showed like in Egyptian stuff. But they had these elongated heads and kind of like these slanty eyes and kind of small noses. And it looked kind of like that. And so, as this is melting, are we going to start seeing all sorts of beings being revealed to us? I mean, I know that Antarctica used to be tropical. I'd even heard where there was people who said that that's where Atlantis was. That was where everything started, was where Antarctica is now. And when the ice melts, it's going to reveal so many secrets and so much hidden truth from us. And but that face right there, and it's like, I mean, what was the chances she even found that? Like, you can see it. Like, it wasn't like you had to try and see it. You could fully see it. And maybe she's some expert and knows how to, edit footage that I have no idea about. But that I know that there is stuff that is going to be revealed in there. That a lot of stuff is being revealed. That's why people aren't even allowed to go there. You're not even allowed to fly over there. But the thing is, like in the Britannica, and then the thing that I was going to say earlier with Hillary Clinton, I had just heard her today in some other TikTok talking. Oh, the one about the Walt Disney and the Von Bern one or whatever. That she said the glass ceiling, and maybe we'll be able to go past it. And she kept talking about that. When you put it together with, the dome, because Encyclopedia Britannica says when you get out to the edge, if there's a dome, it even gives the measurements of it. You can't get past it, which makes sense to us being an experiment and being a confined space. But, other more advanced beings were able to cross through that barrier because they are multidimensional, because they know who and what they are, and they have more control over their consciousness. Although coming into the earth plane, this heavy kind of vibration energy is also like if we went down to the real deep in the water, and how hard that would be on us. It can collapse your lungs and stuff. So, for them to come down, it's takes a lot out of them. That's why they don't just always come down here. But there is ones that are down here, and so I don't know. See, there's just so many things that we're waiting to find out. Especially if you are somebody who has known about the aliens, like I've known my whole life. And I always wondered why they were lying, and I always wondered why people believed them through the lies. Because, I mean, it just, all you had to do was use logic. But, there is some here, but do they get born here? Like, I don't know, how they do it. But a lot of, and some of them may be more able to deal with this vibration down here. But there's a lot who can't, and they just come temporarily, and that's why, people think Bigfoot is, part of our cattle or livestock, part of the animals that we have on this planet. But that's a multidimensional being. That's a being that is capable to go to other planets and move around the galaxy as a conscious being, and can take on its form. So those are all skills that we're going to learn as we advance, and that's what's so exciting about right now, is because this is such a great graduation. And hopefully I'm making sense. I just feel totally exhausted, and I made the mistake of taking a stupid melatonin before I went to bed, and then getting your sleep all jacked up all night, and then getting woke up too early. I'm just like, I feel like a total zombie. Oh, it's horrible. And my eyes are killing me. But I got good news on the car. So far, all I can find is the battery, but I have to get tires, and tires are super expensive. So I'm waiting on that, and then I'll go get my car. So that'll be one thing solved. But I've got to take Stella back to the doctor again. She's having such a hard time, and it's just the worst. That's why I don't get any sleep. But anyways, there was something else I wanted to say. I feel like I'm talking so fast, but I was like, I remember. So last night, maybe I already said this. I might be getting it confused with my TikToks. But there was a helicopter that came down, and it came all of a sudden. It had been dark for 2 hours, I think, completely pitch black out. And all of a sudden, I heard a helicopter coming. And so then you're like, must be a medical emergency or something like that. Because, why would a helicopter be coming in the dark like this? And so I went out. No, I didn't go the first time. I just sat here and I was like so weirded out because it was so low. It was like shaking stuff in my house. I could feel my chest vibrating. And I was like, man, why is this thing so low? And then it just started circling. It wasn't going anywhere. It just kept doing a circle. But my friend who lives a ways away, she could see it from her place. So the circle was pretty huge. It was going way out and coming around. And, but every time it would circle back, it was so low. And so I went out and I audio taped it one of the times. And it was so loud. And then I audio taped in the house too, or video taped, whatever. And, you could hear things shaking and hear how loud it is in here. So then I've talked about how much more military stuff has been around lately, like all day long. They're just constantly going. This one was so low though, and had, there was no lights or anything like that. You could just hear it. So, but my friend who could see it from far out, she said it had one, like a headlight and a rear light, just like the lights that just show where it's at. She said those lights, but it wasn't using any kind of light looking for anything that she could see. Because I was said, maybe it's like ultraviolet night vision or something. She couldn't see any lights coming out of it, but it had to be something like that. So then they released a story. One of them was that they were coming for somebody who couldn't breathe. Okay, well, if you don't know anything medical, then you may believe that story, but since I happen to know how that works, I knew that it was a false narrative. So it was, because if it comes for a medical emergency, it will just, an ambulance will come to the place. And, it's usually ambulance, fire truck, there's a lot of commotion. They'll come to the place, then they will take off and they will call for the helicopter. And then the helicopter goes to the biggest open field or parking lot that it can find, which is probably the school that's a few miles away. So the helicopter would have never been over here. It doesn't come and circle around and stuff. But, people who don't understand how it works for medical wouldn't. And plus, they don't use military helicopters to pick people up who can't breathe. All black helicopters, no, they use ones that have like a light going on the top. They're striped. They're all like all American looking. So I knew that wasn't true. Then they said that, they were over looking for somebody who's looking in people's windows. I was like, okay, so you're looking for someone who's looking for people in people's windows in the forest and not even using a spotlight. Okay, that doesn't make sense, So, but it's the same thing as like the last time when they said that they were chasing that U-Haul and they have every freaking cop in the general vicinity. I couldn't believe how many police are just blocking off all the roads for somebody who stole a U-Haul. It's like they treat us like we are so stupid. Just, it's irritating. And I just will be so glad to finally be, to start knowing the truth, to start hearing the truth, and it's not even about, so to be able to go like, I told you, I don't care about any of that. It is just when you know things, but it's just keeps being lies. It's just exhausting, this has just reached a point of such exhaustion at this, and plus everything is going so fast. It's just, oh my gosh. I know I haven't had much sleep, but I swear, I just feel mentally exhausted, especially now, now is when we're going to start seeing so much more death pick up, and, we're going to get through it. Everything's going to turn out good. We just, this is a lot of obstacles, but it is to really wake people up and to really teach people how to prioritize and what's important, and for us to learn, you know, what this world really is, what our whole reason for it was. You know, it's been an experiment the whole time. You know, humanity had to prove that it was a okay vehicle for incarnation. And, you know, we proved it, and now we get to graduate, you know. So it is turning out, but, you know, there's still a lot of stuff that has to be told, the truth, just about this whole place. I mean, just the whole cell, and that you can die. That is, even when I know it, that you can't die, still, you know, it eats at you when you know you have people around you who are going to be transitioning. And it's, so anyways, yeah, I'll be glad when we start actually having conversations about the truth and everything's revealed and no more of this bullshit, no more of these lies. And we can actually start understanding and learning about ourselves and learning about our abilities and, you know, move into this new existence, the new earth, you know, our time, age of Aquarius. I'm looking forward to it. So I'll talk to you later. Bye.